Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along this Thursday night live stream. We've got Le Mans Ultimate with the Multiclass Masters Online Championship. We are at Sebring, round 2 of this season, and we are going to be trying to respect the bumps whilst also trying to go fast and trying to score as many points as we possibly can. We are, interestingly, this time round in split 2 rather than the split 1 that we've been running previously. I think there's maybe more splits this time, or maybe more people were signed up this time compared to last week. Because there's 5 splits. I can't quite remember off the top of my head how many there were last week, but we lost some rating last week, and we lost a little bit of rating in the WEC experience fixed as well. So that's probably dropped us down just a tad, right onto basically the cusp of split 1/2, but with it being split 2, hopefully we could be a little bit closer to the front. Hopefully we can kind of battle for that podium. It all depends on what the pace is of everyone else here in this lobby, which, looking at some of the names, I don't really recognize as of yet. There is the usual mix of Ferraris and Toyotas. I know that much, but there's a couple of what do they call them? Peugeots in this lobby, and it looks like I'm the only Porsche that I can see at the moment. So yeah, we'll see what's actually in store when it comes to the race, but we shall see. We shall see. Anyway, let's go ahead and load up the game so you ladies and gents can see what's going on about what is about to unfold and happen here in this race as we get ready for qualifying fairly soon. Hello, Lecco. Good to see you. Expect to have my shoulders hurt by the end of the 100-meter race. 100 minutes, yes. Is it 100 minutes? Yes, an hour and 40-minute race, which means that all my calculations and everything that I had originally put into the calculator are wrong. Go ahead and update these. I'm gonna go play 46. I reckon people are gonna do 46. Let's do that. Still recommending flat out. Okay. Cool. But at least I know what I need to do in terms of less stint. Now I just need to figure out what I'm gonna do in terms of tyre strategy. So we have a limited number of tyres. It's not telling us at the moment. Morph is off to do the weeklies. You madman. Get yourself in online championships. Although you do need obviously the subscription in order to do it. I can't quite remember off the top of my head. I didn't race Central, I think it was called. Yeah, you do need obviously that in order to do online championships. But the racing quality is so much better here than dailies and weeklies. Although, to be fair, the weekly dailies that I've done haven't been too bad when you're kind of in the intermediate or the advanced level, and you're kind of in those top splits. It's only when you're in those lower splits that there's a bit more of a pain in the ass. Right. Go ahead. Fuel in the car. We are limited to tyres. It doesn't say how many we actually have or how many we actually get. Anyway, let's go get ourselves out onto the track. Get ourselves ready and prepped. For this first flying lap. Go and set the battery to 40 kilowatts. We should deplete the state of charge at about 15% per lap, and then the 30% is basically zero. It's like maybe charging at 1% per lap. Well, 30 kilowatts, should I say. So it's a pretty straightforward strategy as to what we're going to be doing here in this in terms of managing the hybrid battery. Basically, the majority of the first lap run out at 40, and then once we kind of get down to like 60, 65, go and set it to 30, and then kind of forget about it until the sock gets a little bit high, where again we'll go down for a little while, and then back up the lap later. Very simple stuff. Right, Sebring. What a circuit. The only thing that you can really fault with this track is the fact that it's pretty much flat. There's like barely any elevation to it at all. But it's got a ton of character. As you can probably tell, it is quite bumpy. We're not even in the bumpiest sections yet either. They've got some really, really cool corners. Some that make you feel like an absolute hero when you nail them and get them right. Mainly turn 1. And there's some nice twisty, flowing sections as well. It's a track with a great mix of corners, to be fair, and it works really, really nice for both racing and also multiclass racing. It's a phenomenal circuit for multiclass racing. Bouncy, bouncy. Right, here we go. Now we get serious with the laps. Too deep, too slow. But yeah, turn 1 at full speed is great fun. The interesting thing about this circuit, and this particular layout with the WEC pit lane as well, is that the pit lane is actually on the back straight, it's not on the start-finish straight. So it's not like in other circuits where usually you traverse the pit lane and do basically switch on to the next lap. You don't do that here. The pit stop is included within a lap, which makes it a hell of a lot easier to actually work out how much time you gained on other people and all that sort of thing. Sunset Bend is an absolute nightmare in my life. Any car. It's a great corner. It's just, yeah, it's tricky to nail. There's like multiple lines through it as well that are actually viable lines, so you don't have to be like bang on tight to the apex. Ah, the two of you are racing on Saturday. Nice. I unfortunately will not be. It's very, very rare that I'm able to race on weekends these days, and as this weekend is going to be a decorating weekend, decorating / sorting weekend, chance of me racing is very, very low. So we're still a second off. There's definitely time to be found, but that is, I believe, a PB as well. I haven't really done any qualifying running, so all these laps here that I'm going to be doing in qualifying are going to be new personal bests. It's a little deep. As is that. Completely missed my braking point there on that one. just take it nice and easy through these corners here. Try and keep some temperature in the tyres and brakes, but not overwork them. Right, and there we go again. This is a shame because it felt like I did a good turn one. Too wide. No, I want that. I don't think I'm going to be able to get another lap in. Not at least without some serious left and coasting here. So let's trundle on around. Thankfully we've got the time to do it. It's just a fuel is the problem. So I'm just using the clutch just to let the car roll a bit more without the engine braking. Should be good once we get to the back straight, but I will do some lift and coasting into the final corner. Let the car roll all the way through here. Provided that we haven't taken too much out of the tyres. Demoliers is in this lobby. Did not expect that. Right. Line her up and go. Well, nail turn one, please. Too wide on entry. See what we can do with the rest of the lap though. This is not good, even in split 2, starting way down the grid order where it should be up in and around the top 10. Still, we're only 600 down in the first sector. Let's see if we can gain a few positions. Nope. Not with that. Well, that's a really poor and frustrating qualifying, as usual. Always seem to struggle with qualifying for whatever reason. Why is it not saying how many tyres I've got? Nope. Righto. That's what I want to be doing. Right, I'm going to very quickly go to the loop, so be right back 1 second. Alright, we are back. It's 87 degrees. It's the optimal temperatures for the mediums. Alright, so we are going to be starting third to last. Let's see. How we are expected to do.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
Start off on the tyres that we qualified on, just so that we've got plenty of fresh tyres for the race. My concern here is I can't see how many tyres there actually are available for this race, which is worrying. I think it's either going to be It's either going to be 8 or 10. One of the two. Oh, actually, very quick. Joe has a look on Discord. Championships and messages. 8 tyres are available. So yeah, we need to start on these and switch to fresh tyres come the first pit stop. So we'll be doing 25 laps and then a 7 lap splash and dash at the end. And obviously, for those, we're going to have the freshest tyres that we possibly can. Hello, Dot. Yep. I'll try and keep my head high, try and keep the nose clean, stay out of trouble, have fun, try and work our way through the field, and see if we can climb ourselves up into the top 10. That would be nice. But we shall see. We shall see how we get on, especially with the pace with some of the others as well. Be a little bit tricky, but who knows? Sometimes there is chaos here at Sebring, and that happens. Then maybe we can make some ground and some positions. Right. Should probably quickly show you the setup I'm using. This is going to be it, ladies and gents. Feel free to pause it and screenshot it at any point to use it. I'll also be uploading it to ultimatesetup.com as well. Just try and remember to do that after the race. I need to do the same as well with whatever previous setups. Saying I've got infinite new tyres. I don't believe that is true. I'm going with the assumption that we've only got 8. That is going to be my strategy for this race. If other people try and use that infinite number of laps, then they might find themselves getting slightly screwed over by that bug/system. Right, here we go then. I'm ready for the start of this race. Hope it all goes well and can keep everything clean. Okay, good reaction to the lights.
Green flag, green flag.
There they are. Yep, that was pretty silly by that car on the inside, and there's a freebie there as well. No point pushing too hard here on the opening lap. People are kind of battling and stuff anyway. And I don't want to be sending it from a stupid distance back where I'm not going to be given space. I want to make sure that the move is actually on. Drag race between me and the Peugeot. Oh, Toys almost got involved. We managed to make the move, but it was a little bit sketchy. Well, I thought that may happen if it went for the lunge there. I like to think I gave room. But that's actually cost us a fair bit. So let's try and work our way back up onto the cars up in front. Not really closing up on them as of yet. Right, let's go to 30 kilowatts from here. That bump is absolutely killing us. We've got to try and keep in mind that the tyres are warm. It's feeling pretty good at the moment though. I think Slim was in the Peugeot. So they must have hit the wall after a little bit of contact and them spinning. We're starting to catch this trio of cars up in front, which is good. Can't get myself tucked into the final corner there. That's a bit deep. Poor exit. There we go. That time we made the apex at some reasonable level. Now I just need to get the lap time back down to match the guys up in front. They are now fighting, it's going to help us. Contact. It's one freebie. Try that. Should get a little bit more rotation from the rear now. So at the moment it's feeling like it's not wanting to. The only thing I've got to watch out for is rotation in high speed. It feels like it's struggling in low speed at the moment. Ah, I've got damage at the rear of the car as well. That I've only just noticed. Still, it doesn't feel too bad at the moment. I imagine that's from the contact with the Peugeot. Turn one. I could definitely feel the grip loss there. Now we're going to start catching the Multiclass traffic at the end of this lap. Very much like to get this Aston mine before the too fast hints, which we can manage to do just about. Yeah, this rear end's a bit of a struggle, actually. I know I was kind of sent deep there by the Peugeot as well, but the rear end just does not feel comfortable. Thought I was a little bit risky there with the Peugeot. I did just try and let them go. It's a two-stop race. Just trying to figure out whether it's going to be worth repairing the damage in the pit stop or not. Get on your line. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have a Prius. I could pit at this point now. To, repair the damage, which is now also at the front of the car. That's probably going to be very, very minor, I'd hope. and then basically take full fuel on this stop and the next, and I'll be able to go to the end. It's basically the final stint is 7 laps, and we're 9 laps in already. The problem is the tyres. It's having the tyres last that long. So I don't think we're going to be able to get away here with changing tyres on every stop. I don't think that infinite tyre allocation that we have is real. I don't want to believe it. The other thing that we could do is pit, say, 5 laps early. No, I'd like to... No, we'll go with the routine. Stop, I reckon. Because again, it always comes back to tyres. Oh, dead pressure. Freebie. Unable to fix damage. I don't know why. Huh, interesting. I'm also seeing the same thing. In that I can't repair damage. Or at least the damage isn't listed. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, well that scraps all that kind of fault then, and I'm just going to have to get on and deal with it. Just keep telling myself the damage isn't there. Damage isn't there. The damage isn't there. so deep. Come on, Yorkie. You're getting those low 47s. Or into the 47s. Try that 5 rear ARB again. It's like there, it helps beautifully. And it would help here as well if I actually managed to get to the apex. Yorkie, still you're breaking out. E6 and 7 are battling. GT3's giving up. messy there under braking. Yeah, you want the inside on the exit corners. Round the outside here. Whoa! Unless they hit you. Not give you any room. I think that might... I don't know. Felt like it may damage the suspension. Steering seems slightly off centre. Thank you. I'd advise on the exit of the hairpin there to not go to the right of the GT3s like I've done so twice. It's just generally not the best of ideas, just at that close at that point that I probably can stick it there on the left and I should give it some space on the right hand curve that comes up there. Yeah, that's what I'm guessing has happened. There is a little bit of suspension damage there. Which is frustrating, but at the same time, the car up in front, we managed to gain about 3-4 seconds on them. Oh, you moved in across there, made that really heavily unsighted for me in terms of where the braking point was. What are you doing, bro? Mustang snatched the brake. There we go. That's how it's meant to be done. Not have the GT3 wash out into you. Rear end's definitely moving around a lot more. None of that. Good Evo wheelbase. Helped us out there. Momentary little screen freeze is off-putting there. Messi getting caught up all over the curb. Now that Peugeot's starting to come back again. Just seeing them in the rearview mirror and on the relative. So far away from the apex, I couldn't even see it. Chucking it back in then. Oh, it's warm. I think the Peugeot struggled with the Aston Martin there. So we gapped them about 2 seconds. Ah, there it is. Now have the option to repair the damage. Yeah, pace should be about 6/10 of a second, 6/10 of a lap faster. It should be mid 47s, that's the thing. And the car's just loose in places where I don't want it to be. That was cheeky of me, but they did give me room. Shit in hell. Was not expecting that. That's giving us even more damage now, for God's sake. So we're going to be okay to slip on through. The rear tyre said no. I reckon this is a pit this lap. And we'll sort the damage and everything else from that. I don't think infinite tyres are confirmed. Way too much. Yeah, definite pit this one. That was a silly little frustrating mistake for me there. To be fair, this whole race hasn't gone particularly great. Just feel like I'm getting, very much as the title suggests, just bumped and battered around all over the place. Both by the bumps, by other cars, by myself. It is not the race in the season that I was hoping for, but then again, I'm going to miss a good chunk of the season, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. So we're going fresh. rubber all round, an extra 30 seconds to repair. Yeah, obviously switching over to turning right as well. The car just broke away. Yeah, exactly. It's just a mix of too much power and turning at the same time. Sent the car around. Either way, hopefully this sorts everything, and we should be good from here on out. Skid issue, thank you. Cheers, Moth. Right, let's try and build some temperature up into these tyres. Get back on it. So we've got 30 seconds to try and catch up. This feels weird now. Everything feels grounded, connected. Doesn't feel like there's any weird looseness going on, and steering's in the normal spot. And yeah, it was definitely the slight crest there going from one side of the track to the other. As you say, the camber in the road really unsettling the car, and I think probably still in a bit of a traction zone. Turning quite a lot with the damage that's already there on the car. And away she goes. It's weird, everything that now feels really heavy. And yeah, too grippy. Are you tight? 28%. That's what we're going to need for the stop. So we stopped 2 laps short of what was planned. So quite a few people will now be in the pits. Yeah. Not back on the lead lap yet. Oh, car feels so much better. Lap times reflect it. A lap down. So yeah, lap times, as I said, should be mid 47s. I know we got fresher rubber as well, but I think the damage was a big factor. Now the car feels much better. Much more grip, much more predictable. Actually trust the car, what it's going to do. It's just other people. Trying to get a little bit of fuel saving in just to get us to the extra lap because we're pretty close. We're like 0.8, 0.9 going over the line. Palmer's really struggling. That's 2 laps in a row. He's done a 51. Really struggling with that last corner again. Looks like it needs a... Oh dear, door. Grab your jacket, get out of it. The pressure's got through fairly sharpish. Arm's obviously not fighting it. That's better. So whilst we obviously lost some time there getting through the multi-class traffic, we haven't actually lost too much time to the cars in front. Nice. Sober's just pitted. That's not what I wanted. Oh, interesting. It's kicking off a little bit in chat. Okay. Curious as to why they deviated from their line there, but not going to question it too hard. Oh, hey pretty lady. Alice is back home. Right, we can definitely get back inside the top 10, which is good. Only 8 seconds up the road, like that. So there's a GT3 stuck somewhere in Sunset. Obviously now gone. Right, we're going to need to try and get past these two ASAP. Get after Sobers, who's starting to press up the road. I'm only going to need 6 laps of fuel. Get past this guy by turn 1. All here. Right, we've been catching the Peugeot MP9, which is good. Last time I saw the gap to them, it was 22 seconds. It's now sub 19. Just need to be catching them quicker. Although we are starting to get to that point now, where we are taking a good amount of time out of them on this lap. Yeah, just done a 51. I managed to get away with that. Those bumps on the entry there are really unsettling the car. Sometimes it's fine, other times it's really not. GT3s can outbreak the hypercars, so I'm not mad at what they did. It was a bit ambitious of me to go for the move. Obviously I'm trying not to lose time to the cars up in front. And they just basically did their thing, held their line. I knew as soon as he was starting to outbrake me that it was going to go for the apex. So just redressed in behind them. Well, that worked out very nicely in the pursuit of catching the Ferrari on that lap. That traffic there. Although we had lost a chunk of time there. First time in quite a long time I actually gained off the exit of that turn. So we managed to hook up the traction. Pretty crucial getting past those two BMWs. Worked quite nicely. This is a pass that we're going to have to do on circuit. Wasn't quite able to carry the momentum off of turn 1 into the braking zone there. Otherwise that would have been a really good opportunity. Managed to make the apex this time. No. There it is. I think he knew that it was going to be sooner or later I actually get past. But that mistake there really helped us out. Although I do now have damage on the front from that tap on the inside wall in turn 1. Which is not what I wanted, obviously. But I could probably live with that, to be fair. So it should only be light. And the question is, can we get P9? 10 laps to go. could have to make a mistake. I wish us to see if we can apply some pressure. Try and force an error. There is also obviously the chance of multiclass traffic as well having an impact. This is true. What would be ideal is if 49s was his actual race pace. We all have to pit. They're going to have to do a smaller splash and dash, but there is no way that they're going to be saving enough fuel. I don't think. Yeah, 49. So 2 and a bit seconds on that lap. Just need to try and keep that up. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's me making the mistake. Yeah, there goes the opportunity at P9. Close enough. Hit this lap just because I don't want to have to try and fight my way past Heyman again on track. So if I could do it. By a pit stop. Ideal. Tell you what, some of them might be quite close to actually being able to do the race without stopping again. I'm pretty sure though everyone will need to stop once more. Right. Good quality laps now. Neither is that. Man's gonna have to do some serious fuel saving in order to make it to the end. He's very close though. Thank you very much, DT3s. You're all so kind. He might. It's going to be very tight for him. Thankfully back on the lead lap. So risky going outside there. I reckon Heyman's going to be able to do it. Oh wait, we're not on the lead lap. Race leader is still ahead of us. Question is he going to be able to make it? Oh, that's a freebie. They're up. P4. don't think the race is going to make it. It's so tight. They might. They might. So I'm doing 3.7. NRG per lap. So they should be on the final lap now. No, they're not. They're just up ahead. Yeah, it's it. Last lap, so they have done it. Well, that's the race completed at least. It was not the race that I was hoping for. As I said, kind of got battered and bruised and bumped around all over the place by the bumps myself and then also other people as well. A couple of silly mistakes that could have been avoided, I think, on my part. So, yeah, a bit of a bummer, but at least we managed to get back to the top 10. Try and figure out what was going on in various places. So I think it was lap 16 that we had the or was it 19? With the main group of cars. Wasn't that one. So, was it... No, it wasn't that line. Wasn't that note? Yeah, I think it was lap 7. No, it wasn't lap 7. Tell you what, let's go and have a look, see what happened at the start of the race. It's very true, Door. It's just a little bit frustrating as to what could have been, because obviously we had some very, very good pace. This was good racing. Some nice side-by-side there. Block the Toyota off from making a move. They're my fault. We're going to have to go back to the main menu and have a look at the replay there, because it isn't going to play ball here in the lobby, because once people start leaving I can't select them to view. Let's see what's happened to the rating. I imagine it's a drop. Yes, indeed. It's funny how now the qualifying and race results are expected to be different. Usually they're the same, but I wonder if it's picked up on the on my trend of really poor qualifying form and gone, yeah, you suck at qualifying, therefore we're going to make it a little bit easier for you to qualify in an expected position, and then race is more reflective as to what should be happening. But thank you, Jensen. Glad you enjoyed watching it, and thanks for saying hi as well. You are not a name that I recognise, so welcome along. How many points? 237. So, page 2? Yeah, 19th. Page 2. Right, let's very quickly go back to the replay and take a look at the incidents. I think that turn 1, I think the Peugeot tried to make something out of very much nothing. They weren't gaining on me coming down the straight when they tried to make that overtaking manoeuvre, and effectively just lunged down the inside. So that's very much on them. Thankfully I managed to see it coming and kind of open up on the steering and prevent myself from being spun as well. Let me just take a little moment. Actually load. Okay. They are just announcing BMW League. What's the other thing? RBR. Added a new Clio Rally 3. Nice. Gotta keep Discord ping free as best as I can. Right. So let's take a look at this little battle then. So the Peugeot went deep, gave us a good opportunity there to get alongside. Nice and close between the two of us. The Toyota had a bit of a run, but managed to cover that off. And the car got a little bit loose there from that bump, as we can see. Which really hurt our run through the turn. And yeah, he's not gaining on me or anything. He just brakes a little bit later than I do. Big hit there, and then yeah, second hit. That's very much all on them, considering they're still half a car width from the apex. They left plenty of room there on the inside. So there was that. And then where was the spin in the multi-class traffic? Must have been this lap, considering the amount of traffic that there is here. Nope, it's not that one. So is that lap 9 then? Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, accidental little tap there. Nope, it's not on that one either. Okay, it must have been the second round of multi-class traffic then. At 15. This is it. Yeah, I think this is him not... Yeah, he's not given enough room. That was a little bit annoying, wasn't it? Vaguely remember lap 19 being something. Or was that the spin from the Peugeot? Nope. Was that lap 19 was nothing. What happened here on 22? Ah, this was my spin. So this is the one that cost me quite big. Yeah, a little bit annoying, that one. On the curb, and then yeah, I started turning right as we come over this little lip here. It's kind of hard to see from any sort of onboard angle, but yeah, the track kind of falls away, as you can see up here in front, and the camber kind of drops off like that. But at this point here already, the car is starting to go. So lucky there to not get collected by that other car. BMW, and then yeah, that was the lip that I appeared on. I don't think there was too much else to kind of see from the rest of the race, if I remember correctly. I think there was a little bit of battling. And then obviously my stadium was stake, but other than that, there wasn't really too much else. So yes, another week of Multiclass Masters done and dusted. We have next week, next Monday, we will have the second round of WEC Experience fixed. Just double checking now to see where the calendar is going to be for that one. Go to National Circuit. So we do have that round, and then we'll have round 3 of Multiclass Masters next week as well, which will be Imola. And then after that, I'll be off on holiday. So yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything else between now and next Monday. So obviously keep an eye out for the live stream then. Thank you very much everyone for tuning in and supporting. If you enjoyed the race, please do give it a like. Be very much appreciated. And hopefully at some point I can kind of get myself out of this little slump that we're in terms of our results and actually get back up towards the front end of the grid, especially in Split 2. I know in Split 1 I'm definitely not going to be up near the front because everyone there is kind of esports level and crazy fast. But Split 2, I'd like to kind of be up 5th, 6th position, kind of fighting in and around there. And WEC experienced, hopefully this time we can have ourselves a decent qualifying and actually get ourselves closer to the top end of the field as well. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in either way. Hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again on Monday. Until then though, have fun, stay safe, take care. Make sure to not end the stream too early this time.